So the content that I would like to go over is, we'll start with the good news, the best news. I'm gonna start with Johnny Somali because there's been a lot going on with him. I have been waiting. Now I am not one to wait for somebody's downfall. I am not one to pray for somebody's downfall. You know what I'm saying? But if this person is like a cancer to society who gets off on only on making people's lives worse for his own entertainment or for their own entertainment, then yeah, I'm gonna pray for their downfall. You know what I'm saying? If karma or the universe allows me to be a part of their downfall, that's even more better. But if all I can do is watch from the sidelines, and then when the shit happens to them, I can be like, yes. You know what I'm saying? If that's my role, I'm cool with that. So that's what we're gonna talk about when it comes to Johnny Somali, because he's been going to trial in Korea for a couple of months now. You know what I'm saying? For a while now. They've been letting him sit out in the open. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't put him behind bars because they don't want to waste tax money on him. But during this whole court trial thing. But they've been letting him sit out in the open, draining his wallet, draining him dry. You know what I'm saying? He's been having to rely on people like Hank, and I'm pretty sure Hank's tired of him now, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, they've been letting him suffer in their own way. And now, his final court case or whatever, he basically, Johnny Somali found out that his legal defense has failed. And we have a video here by Atozy. We have actually 2 videos here by Atozy. We're gonna start with this one. They're short-ish. We're gonna start with this first one. Let me show you. Boop. Hold on. Where am I? Beep. There we go. And we're gonna just a little bit more. There we go. So we're gonna start with this one, and then we're going into another one in which we find out that he has finally been arrested, and he will be going to prison. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's start with this. I'm excited. I've always said that when Johnny Somali is finally arrested, I will celebrate. And this is pretty much like the beginning. This is him realizing his legal defense failed. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot. That shit tastes amazing. I've had gin a lot, but that specific shot, brings tears to my eye. That's how heavenly that shot was. In justice for the people of Korea and for anybody who has had to deal with Johnny Somali. That shot of gin tasted amazing. All right, let's get to the video. Links will be in the description below.
I don't know how it's possible, but things are still somehow getting worse for the disrespectful IRL streamer who's been trapped in South Korea for over a year simply because he couldn't act right and thought he was above the law. And now it's become extremely obvious that his legal strategy completely failed. Obviously, there's a lot that's happened since we last covered him, but his last trial day was essentially February of 2026. Now, on April 15th comes the sentencing. So, yes. Johnny still is currently facing 8 charges, 6 of which he's already pleaded guilty to, and he's currently fighting the last 2 charges, which are the deepfake charges. Because the dude is still facing 12.5 years in South Korean prison and has essentially been the largest moron ever while fighting this case. I mean, let's be real. If there was a big idiot contest, this dude would absolutely win. Because who in their right mind says this to the judge that has his freedom in his hands?
Shout out to President, the judge, prosecutor, y'all can suck my... Tell them what the charges is.
Carrying a fish and causing anxiety.
Causing anxiety by carrying a fish. Tell the judge you can suck my... I'll bring a...
Well, I mean, first things first, Korea is not America. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect a country that has different laws and different ways of doing things, and they live a different lifestyle. For you to go around harassing people in a different country, they're not gonna take that lightly just because you're an American. Every time he did something, he would always really fall back to, I'm an American, I'm an American. Like, no, that's not gonna save you all the time. That's not, that should never be able to save you if you're causing harm or messing with the local people in a different country and disrespecting their country. You remember how he went to the statue and like in Korea and like completely like, you know what I'm saying? You know what he did. I don't want to bring back up those memories, but he tried to act like he didn't know what he was doing when he had proof, because he live streamed everything. He had proof that he knew what that statue was about and that he knew what and how meaningful it was to the Korean people, and he still disrespected it. Yeah, you can't go around in other countries and act like it's okay to do that. I can get why people think they can get away with it here in America, because, you know, America, I ain't gonna lie, like, people are more, I guess I say, more tolerant to disrespect in but not in other countries. And honestly, we need to tighten up on that. We don't need to be as tolerant of disrespect as we are. But hey,
fish to your mother's house. I don't care.
So with that in mind, this absolute genius decided it was a great idea to fight a charge that he live streamed himself doing. Because after streaming with the South Korean streamer Bong Bong, he decided to brag and show off his new Korean girlfriend. How did he do this? Well, he showed an AI-generated video of him and Bong Bong making out on his stream. This is extremely illegal in South Korea, hence why he's currently facing 8 years in prison for just that one charge. And unfortunately,
it's like, why would you want to create a deep fake of you and another person kissing, like, just to piss off other people? And of course, her fans are not gonna like that either. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have their own thoughts about that. But you do that just because it makes you feel, you find it entertaining, and you're like, haha, I'm trolling or whatever. You're messing with somebody else's life, somebody else's fandom, and like, I'm pretty sure they don't want to actually be associated with you. Like, after, if they really know what you're about, and how you've been treating Korea, like, pretty sure they would not have to actually want to be associated with you. Like, maybe they did let's see, when he said they did a stream together, I'm pretty sure he just kind of like invaded her stream. She wasn't like planning to do a stream with him. I remember seeing content about, you know, he kind of just jumped on someone's stream and, you know, and was being him, and then they, you know, tried to like leave, and he's just being Johnny. But anyway, let's get back to it.
for him, he's facing 2 separate deepfake charges, but the maximum penalty that he can get from all of these charges is combined 12.5 years in prison. And as an American, that is a crazy amount of time for what he did. But this guy can't help himself but remove any chance of leniency from the judge by threatening the judge and his family.
That's the stupidest thing ever.
Judge, prosecutor, y'all can suck my...
By showing up to court praising their northern neighbor.
Oh my fucking god.
Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
Hey, send this clip to the president of Korea. Send this clip. I'm talking to you, the president of Korea. You can suck my... I respect Kim Jong-un more than you, Lee Jae-myung, little...
And
why would you want to do something like... When your life, when your life hangs in the balance of someone else's hands, it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you, except it's not the hand that's feeding you. It's the hand that's holding you over the pit of fire in hell, right? Or something like that. They're holding you over, and they're like, do I want to drop you, or do I want to just like give you another chance and put you to the side and like let you try to reform yourself? And then you're sitting there trying to bite those fingers that are holding you, like, drop me, bitch, drop me, I dare you. You won't drop. Why would you do that? That's what I'm asking. Like, he literally asked to be dropped into the pit of flames, into the hellscape, into not the Lazarus pit, because that shit brings people back to life. So he literally asked to have the harshest punishment brought down upon him. Why would you do that? Let's play devil's advocate. at least you would most smart people would at least wait until they're free. You know what I'm saying? Or wait until after the trial and see if they would act their best and try to get the best outcome for the trial. And then if they somehow make it out free, then they would talk all that shit. But Johnny Somali is the dumbest person in existence. And I am ashamed to share the same skin color with him. Like, God, my bruh, come on, goddamn.
And continuing to be an absolute moron in public, all while his trial is still going on.
Korea number one, yes! Korea, Korea, Korea! Oh, police? Oh, no. No. I'm Vigo, American.
And obviously, we've
So,
been
doesn't
covering his
matter.
antics for almost 3 years now. And I've gone
That whole, I'm American, that's not gonna fucking save you. You're in a different country. You're not in I'm American. Okay, go back to America and do that shit. No, I don't want to. All right, well, go to jail. Suffer, bitch. Fuck you.
to 4 of his court dates in Seoul. But I didn't go to this one in February because Bong Bong was actually supposed to show up to the last one that I was in Seoul before the February trial.
She not
But
show up?
instead, she decided to fly to Australia.
I'm talking to a lawyer.
I remember hearing
but
about this.
They didn't answer. Lawyer said that I don't have to, but just in case I will go to airport. I don't know. Ah, it's so annoying. I think I don't have to, isn't it? And yeah, I need to pay the fine. If I don't know, I have to pay the fine or not. There's a
Oh yeah, basically if she didn't go to the trial because she was the one, she said she was the one that she was one of the people that filed the charge against Johnny for the deep fake. So if she didn't go to trial, then she would have to pay a fine. But so first off, I don't know why she would go to Australia when she's about to have to go to trial or for this Johnny Somali thing. Why would you want to go to Australia if you're about to have to do something like that? So that she went and then she had to go all the way back to Korea. Like, why would you do that? And then she's like, you can hear her complaining that she has to go in the first place. Megan Ned more time? Megan Need what?
paper.
What do you mean?
Like
What's up,
absence
MC? How you
paper.
doing?
I can send the absence paper, they said. The fine is 5,000 Australian dollar maximum, I think. I don't think I have to pay that much for that.
Why would you, like, does she not know, like, the Korean people were pretty much counting on, I was counting on her to go and to make sure she goes to the trial and states her case in order to give Johnny Somali the maximum sentence. Like, she had a chance to be a hero. She went to Australia. I'm pretty sure she did go and report to the case, but like, yo, come on. We're gonna make it 6 months only? Nah. Hopefully he gets more than 6 months. Like, don't do that. Come on, man. Don't say that, MC. I'm hoping he gets like the full maximum sentence of 12 years. Like, nah, bro. This kid needs to feel what it's like when people want to ruin your life, because that's what he did to the Korean people. That's what he was doing in Japan. He wanted to ruin people's lives that he just randomly came in contact with. So he needs to know what it feels like when people want to ruin your life. Put him in there 12 years.
And
Hard
she's
labor.
the lead witness. So I wasn't gonna bet on this woman showing up, because if she didn't show up again, there would be nothing new to cover. And I'm gonna be real, it's not cheap to fly a team member.
Also, like, the charge probably would have been thrown out, I think. It's not just you lose content to cover. It's just, I'm pretty sure the charge would have been thrown out or something.
And myself to Korea. I mean, we're kind of doing it for the love of the
At
game.
least
this
10 in
point,
the
because
USA.
It would be a whole
Yeah, let the Giants spend at least 10 in the US. No. Well, yeah, because I don't want Korea to have to waste their tax dollars on him. But at the same time, he gets hard labor in Korea. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was gonna do the same sentencing, same style in America, then cool. At least 10 to 12 years with hard labor. But at least this way, if he does hard labor in Korea, he can it would sort of feel like he has to pay back some type of respect to Korea for doing hard labor for them, because his whole time in there just disrespect. And it's like, I don't like this kid. I don't like this kid at all.
whole lot more profitable for me to sit at home and make a commentary video. But Honestly, that is not the most entertaining outcome, because this is such a good story. It's a full-on train wreck that I can't even help myself from not watching. And I mean, let's be real. If I'm not focused on covering it, a whole lot of people won't even know what's happening. And it's kind of funny because it almost seems like Johnny actually missed me from this session in February, because he kept on complaining to the other streamers to get the shot of him coming into the courtroom because no one else would, I guess. And this is because most people have honestly just lost interest in the case. They just want to see what the outcome is. So my understanding is there was little to no press there on the February court date. Hence why
I know I know I keep pausing it, but like you have to wonder. Obviously that guy got banned quick. I don't know why he like boss, bro. But anyway, you have to wonder, is he have no sense of self-preservation? Does he like not care about his own life? You know what I'm saying? Like, most people would want to avoid trying to ruin their lives. Like, Johnny was trying to find it entertaining, ruining other people's lives. But at some point, you gotta be like, okay, self-preservation. I'm in this trial in Korea, in another country, and I want to make sure that I get the best outcome so I can go home and continue making other people's lives miserable. But instead, while he's going through all these trials, he continues to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would think the whole time he's going through these trials, he would be on his best behavior. He continues to do the same shit that got him in trouble in the first place. And then he talks about saying, fuck you to the judge, you can suck my dick. And then, like, he disrespecting the judge, showing that he has no remorse, showing that he's not going to, like, just reform or anything like that, showing that he doesn't give a shit still about the Korean people or anything about them. Like, he did everything he could to make sure he gets the maximum sentence versus trying to do everything you can to get the minimum sentence. And then when you're free, just be like, haha, I got out, blah, blah, blah. No, like, how does he not have any sense of self-preservation?
why we never got the video of him getting out of a police car and entering the courthouse. But Bong Bong, the star witness, she decided to go live before the stream.
Oh, God.
So as I was sitting home and I realized she went live, I went, oh, she's actually showing up the trial. And she did so alongside of Slightly Homeless. They weren't streaming together, they were just streaming at the same time in two separate parts of town. And you might recognize Slightly Homeless because he was the guy who Johnny essentially stalked and chased down the street with his date at that time.
I'm giving you content, right? You want to run content?
Exactly, MC.
Leave me alone.
I thought you want to run content.
Leave me alone.
Let's make content.
Go away.
Let's make
Go.
Now remember, Slightly Homeless is not well, he's not the best person either. Like he kind of did the same thing that Johnny did when he was in Japan. Like eventually he stopped hanging around Johnny. I'm not sure if he stopped doing the same things that Johnny was doing, or like by the same things I mean like he would also go and harass the people of the public for no reason. But like this guy, I don't know if he stopped doing that, or if he's like still on that kick, but not while he was in Korea.
Go away.
And I don't think Slightly Homeless is really on a side here. I just feel like he's at the courthouse because he's already in Korea, and that's probably the most interesting thing in his niche happening in Seoul that day. But regardless, he was kind of there to cover it, but he somehow managed to not cover anything whatsoever because he just kind of stood there on the street, bothered about not being able to live stream inside of the courthouse. And obviously, Johnny was really trying to get him to stand at the courthouse steps and live stream him going into court because, you know, Johnny wanted his big moment. And of course, he didn't do that, and Johnny didn't get the shot he wanted, and there was no journalists there, so no one saw that happening.
Yeah, nobody cared enough.
Told me I can't, dude. And I will get you going in. Johnny wants me to be a cellmate. I know, right?
Oh my God. Hold on.
And I...
Idiot asked for forgiveness, not permission. Oh my God. That's the kind of, you know, insight he's been living off of? Who the fuck? No, you took that the wrong way. That's more like if you see in TV, right? The cop has a suspicion and they want to go in and do something, but if they wait to get permission, then it'll be too late and the bad guy will get away, so the cop goes in anyway. It's for things like situations like that, not for going around harassing the people and disrespecting a whole nother country just to be like, oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh my God. That never mind, bro. You're right, MC. He's just smooth brain Johnny, bro.
I will get you going in. Johnny wants me to be a cellmate. I know, right? I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. Just roll your window down when you're coming by if you want me to get a good shot.
I don't know who's gonna be there. Oh, fuck. No.
Is she going?
I left my house.
Yeah, she's going.
Too late. No.
She's not gonna get there on
I think
time.
I'm gonna be late. For the court. I just go to court and just tell what happened to me. That's it. I'm very curious about what's gonna happen.
They probably wouldn't start with her first, so I guess it would be fine if she was like a little bit late, right? Probably.
No hype behind
But still, you don't want to be late.
Absolutely nobody's here.
I met him twice, once in Thailand, once in Seoul, always on stream. And we're not like in a relationship. We maybe used to be a friend or something.
Oh, so they were friends.
He exposed me on the public with like over about 1,000 people that I'm his girlfriend, and
what the fuck?
we sex to Korean people, and I got a lot of bad, I was kind of cancelled from the society because of that, you know what I mean? Cancelled. I was cancelled.
That's what you get for being friends with him in the first. Like, maybe she didn't know who he was or what he was doing, what he had been doing while in Korea. So maybe he didn't. Maybe she didn't know. But like, it was a bad idea to be friends with him in the first place, because he definitely is just gonna go and do what he can to get clout, to use you for clout. You know what I'm saying? But like, he doesn't do it as in a friendly manner. Like, he doesn't do the fake friend thing like a lot of Twitch streamers do. But he'll go and he'll just do it in the worst way possible by trying to ruin your life. That's what he just. That's all he likes to do. He likes to ruin people's lives.
From Korean people, like a lot of people, you know.
Or at least their day.
Like, a lot of people start attacking my YouTube channel, and actually, like a lot of Korean people threatening me. The Korean people, you know,
yeah, she should have been like, go away. You're right.
Who eventually like ends up their life.
Didn't I used to do it? No, I never done ASMR.
Public.
But essentially, what do we know from the February trial going into his sentencing? Well, despite it having been almost 4 months, Johnny Somali's first deepfake charge, the one with Youngman that was supposed to be dropped, has not been dropped. So no official agreement has been entered into the record in either case. So considering it's already been 4 months, one can only assume that that charge is there to stay. And we got some confirmation on this as well, because on February 3rd, 2026, Hank submitted a request for clarification on the scope of the agreement to the court in the Youngman trial. And this to date is the only official court action that has taken place in either trial regarding this agreement. So this is definitely an indication that Johnny is worried about if this agreement is being held up by the court. And if you don't remember, the background on that was on October 22nd, 2025, Johnny and Hank, they signed a tentative handwritten agreement in court with Youngman to mutually drop charges. How do we know this? Well, I showed up and we found out in person. And at the time of the agreement, legal experts predicted that the official agreement would be signed and sealed within 2 weeks. And here we essentially have the text of the agreement, which is written in Korean, so we kind of have to translate it, but essentially it says, agreement, Lee Young-chan, Ramsey Khalid Ismail, and Yoo Hong-jo no longer wish to pursue mutual punishment for all criminal cases that have occurred between them on a...
Why would they want... What would make them want to, like, sign an agreement like that? No. Like, get justice for your people, you feel me? Like, put him in jail. Like, he needs to suffer. He needs to know what it feels like to have his life ruined, but instead of him going around ruining other people's days and lives and shit.
October 29th, 2025, his lawyer notified the court of the agreement and entered a handwritten temporary agreement into the record. No official agreement has been entered into the record,
you don't want to do
as
that
of right now. So the agreement is not in on the record, and the charge has not been canceled. And then on January...
Hey, you wonder if Korean guards will jump bro while he's locked up? Now, I'm not gonna say that I advocate for violence against people who are already, suffering. or facing their punishment. I'm not gonna say that I advocate for that, but if it were to happen to someone like Giant Somali, you know what I'm saying? I can't say that I wouldn't take a shot to that as well. And like, you know, just, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I wouldn't find news like that slightly enjoyable. Even though I advocate against it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
January 26, 2026, closing arguments were held in Youngman's case, meaning that 3 months after the tentative agreement, Youngman's charges stayed in place and his trial proceeded with no interruption. So on February 3rd, 2026, obviously Hank submitted that request for clarification, and essentially nothing that we know of came of it. What else do we know? Well, on the February hearing, Hank did not show up. So where does that actually leave us? Well, Johnny was more interested in...
Even Hank didn't show... Even Hank was like, man, bro, there's no saving you. You're just... I think Hank knew from the start that Johnny would be going to jail eventually, or to prison eventually, and Hank just wanted to be along for the ride and just watch this guy fall. But like, I'm sure his biggest regret was having to host Johnny at his place or whatever the entire, like, for however long he's been doing it. Like, that's gotta be his biggest regret. But he's gotta be extremely happy that Johnny's locked up now, so, or got handcuffed today, that day.
Entertaining his audience than actually dealing with the reality of his current life situation. The dude essentially chose to act out as much as possible and do the opposite of what he should have done. Because from every legal professional I've talked to in Korea, they all said he should have been serious from the start, formally apologized, and pleaded guilty. And if he did so, everyone is saying the judge would have gone very easy on him, and realistically, he would have been back in the US right now. Because
see, that's what I was talking about. That's literally what I was talking about. Instead of doing that, and trying to show that you're sad about it, that you learn your lesson, that you want forgiveness, that, you know, like even like Johnny said, ask for forgiveness, not for permission or whatever. Like I forgot who that quote is from. It's not from Johnny, because he didn't get it from there. Somebody else said that before him. It's like a thing that people say anyway. But he could have just played nice and then gotten out, and then, you know, been like, yeah, what's up, bitch? I didn't mean that anyway, and then trolled all that shit. But he didn't. And it's like, why would you not do that? But I'm glad he didn't do it, because, you know, now he gets to see what it's like. He doesn't get to escape like he did in Japan. I'm not gonna lie, Japan, that was kind of fucked up. You should have just, you kind of, but that's how your system works. You know, all he did was pay a fine, and then, I get it. But Korea got him. That's like a win for them, bro.
it's very important to note, the Korean legal system works very differently from the US legal system. And Johnny has even admitted to this himself.
If I would have pleaded guilty to everything,
shout out to the Korea.
I'm 100% telling you guys, I would have been in America already. I would have been in America already, right now.
But apparently he said he was happy he didn't do that because he didn't believe the police were competent enough to actually convict him. So
what?
Instead, he went on to do this.
But like, I'm actually glad I pled not guilty, because like I said, these don't have evidence. Like, you can say like, okay, the people are gonna say, oh, they have the 4K video you recorded. They barely even have that. They have like quality or like 10 seconds.
Bruh. It doesn't matter if they have it at that moment or not, or okay, obviously you have a certain amount of time to submit your evidence. But just because they had that first one, or the one they showed you was poor quality and all that shit, doesn't mean they don't have a mountain of evidence sitting behind them, because you recorded everything and you put it online. So like, I don't know. He sounds smooth brain.
Second clip, like these police are like literally.
Like, come on, are we serious now?
But obviously, instead of doing that, no, he chose to go on stream and say, F the judge.
Shout out to President, the judge, the prosecutor, y'all can
fucking
suck
idiot.
Tell them what the charges is.
Carrying a fish and causing anxiety.
Causing anxiety by carrying a fish. Tell the judge you can suck my. I'll bring a fish to your mother's house. I don't care.
Then he showed up extremely late and obviously hung over to his first day on trial and tried his hardest to make a mockery of South Korea. Then on top of that, he's already admitted to lying to judges before.
I was in prison from September 22nd to January 10th. No,
are you allowed back into Japan?
Yes.
How'd you get out of that?
I had to the U.S. Embassy and a paid lawyer. I lied to the judge. The lawyer
No, you're
lied
not.
to the judge and apologized.
No, you're not. Nah, bro. You see how you paused and said yes? Bro was like, he had to think if he could get in trouble for saying yes or if he could get caught for lying.
Say that you sorry. I don't give a. All I told you, I said, yo, I'll never make a YouTube video again. I'll never. I was selfish. I was streaming people in public and being disruptive. I played music in a restaurant. I'm so sorry. I don't give a about this. Shut the up. And I'll be back soon. And when I come back, it's gonna be like Godzilla, tsunami coming back. Better close the border.
Again, he's making his life so much harder to entertain a couple people online. But I guess his great plan to get out of all of this was to continue to act out.
And this guy on Twitter was like, yo, careful, Johnny. If you post too much anti-Korean content on the internet, you might get deported and banned from leaving the country. And I'm thinking, like, that's great. I think I need to crash out harder, chat. What do y'all think? Because obviously I'm not crashing out enough. Because you know what's crazy? When I went to the police station, it was a while back. And they were like, oh, you've been very quiet. Like, you've been very quiet. We noticed. Like, the police told me that. So I'm like, I want to go home. But it seems like that's the wrong. I think I need to crash out more. Because if I crash out more, it seems like they're going to be forced to do something. I showed you this article the other day. They're saying they're going to ban people and deport them if they say bad stuff about Korea. So I think I just need to say more bad stuff.
Oh my
do
God.
more bad stuff. That's what this is motivating me to do.
How is this guy a real person? How does he not understand that his actions...
The smoothest of brains is Johnny Somali. Holy shit. Like, how do you think that it's a... Like, how do you hear that and be like, oh, this is gonna be a good idea, and I'm just gonna keep doing bad stuff? No, he's there's levels that you're not noticing. Like, you're seeing everything on one plane. You know what I'm saying? They probably talking about if people who do like litter. Let's compare it to that. The people who litter and don't pick up their trash, they'll be deported and kicked out of Korea. You are on some shit that's like taking a shit in the streets and then picking it up, eating it, and flinging it at other Korean people. Like, that's you, Johnny.
Actually have consequences, and trying to be this funny internet guy to entertain a few people online is absolutely not worth it whatsoever. I'm honestly kind of shocked that he came to this conclusion, and I guess he just did so because the dude even challenged so many people to come find him way too many times.
And they did find him. You know how many times he got knocked out? You know how many times he got smacked around?
Come on. Yo.
See? Love it.
So where does that even leave us? Well, you have people arguing that he could actually get a whole lot more time than what the prosecutor recommended. What did the prosecutor recommend? Well, the prosecutor was recommending 3 years of prison with labor and 5 years on the SO registry in South Korea, which then follows with a deportation after all fines and time is served and a permanent ban from South Korea. And now it's currently being
You should try to make a deal with America and be like, hey, after he spends 3 years here, let him spend like another 7, 8, 9 years in America. Okay? Please do that, please.
reported by South Korean media that he had his mom write a letter to the judge to help get him out. So what will happen to him? Well, honestly, if you ask me, I have no idea. I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if he got a slap on the wrist, because that's what happened in Japan, and he's already been stuck in Korea for over a year now. But logically, one would think that he would get somewhere in the ballpark of what the prosecutor recommended, considering he did the opposite of what you're supposed to do every step of the way throughout this entire trial. Like, if this was a game...
I mean, it's also kind of just common sense. Like, common sense is not common. Common sense is not... I keep saying that. This is...
And you had option A and option B, and then option A was the good answer and option B was the bad answer. This guy picked the bad answer
every
single thing along the whole way. I guess to unlock a special ending at the end of it. And he's about to unlock that special ending for the game, because we'll find out what happens on April 15th. So subscribe and turn on notifications.
I like that outro. I like how he compared it to a game. That was a great comparison, Atozy. You know what I'm saying? Now, that video was like a day ago, right? That video was like the day before Johnny's final trial kind of way, you know what I'm saying? Or sentencing, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna lie. There's a sequel. There's a sequel. There's a part 2 to this. You feel me? Because we're gonna watch the one where Johnny actually gets sentenced and like handcuffed. Like this is the big one. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. So, since it's just us sinners here, we're gonna enjoy another shot real quick while we play this. This feels so good.
Final court day for Johnny Somali. This was the sentencing, and he was arrested and taken to the back room, and he was handcuffed, and he's currently being processed.
He's being processed right now, and he's going to have his first night in prison tonight.
He'll spend the first night in prison tonight?
He will be in detention for a week as sort of an interim period, and then within a week he's going to be sent to his prison.
Reporting live from the scene, Atozy. That's how I should have started this. Hold on. Maybe with some editing magic, I can redo that part. Hold on. Reporting live from the scene, we have Atozy himself at Johnny Somali's last court case and sentencing. Atozy, to you.
Final court day for Johnny Somali. This was the sentencing, and he was arrested and taken to the back room, and he was handcuffed, and he's currently being processed.
He's being processed right now, and he's going to have his first night in prison tonight.
He'll spend the first night in prison tonight?
He will be in detention for a week as sort of an interim period, and then within a week he's going to be sent to his prison.
Because good times are here.
The first week from the day.
Right.
That is.
And we are anticipating.
Yeah, that just.
So in case the stream didn't.
That just felt so nice. I had to see it twice. If I remember, I don't want to edit that out. I just want to keep that in. Keep this in too. But it was so nice. I had to hear it twice. Johnny Somali sentenced. Let's see it.
Cut on from the start. We just went to Johnny's sentencing, and he did get prison. And he was arrested on the spot and taken out in the back room. It's interesting. He's gone. He's out of here now. And then we walked out of the courtroom, and the whole media press was there waiting for, I guess, him.
Hold on. Let me just. God damn, this moment feels so good. This is like one of those moments in a lifetime where it's like you really wanted something to happen. Like you was really waiting for something to happen, and then it happens. It manifests. You know what I'm saying? It's like winning the lottery. That's the kind of feeling this is. Damn, feels good.
Or what were they doing there?
I think they thought he would go out the front door. Nobody told them that he was going to be going out the back door.
Yeah, because it could be that he doesn't go directly. They give him time to get his affairs in order.
Right.
And then he gets arrested. But then he screwed that up as well when he went to.
They give you. Hold on. They let you, make, say your last goodbyes and all that shit. They let you do that, and then they take you off. But he even fucked that up. He fucked even that up. Pray tell, how did he fuck that up as well?
Court.
Yeah.
But then he screwed that up as well when he went to court.
Yeah.
So he was basically detained immediately, and the prosecutor did not want him to have a chance to go home or do anything like that.
Good.
He said it was a flight risk.
He was very.
Whoa, okay. So this isn't just saying your last goodbye. You are going to you. So, wait, you're normally given time to actually go back home and say your goodbyes. But they didn't want to give you that chance, bro. You completely missed a step, fam. They said that you messed that up. And it sounds like your attorney was glad that you messed it up. Let me hear that again, because that's how. It's it's like all the chances that you were given to save your own ass just got pissed out the window. The entire way through, you just like constantly pissed out your best chance to get out of this. Just pissed it out the window. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit, Atozy was right. You literally press, like, if A was the good option, it's like the video game analogy. If A was the good option and B was the bad option, you repeatedly press the bad option.
Very bleak today. When he walked in, he didn't.
They said the prosecutor did not want him to, so that he doesn't go directly.
I want to hear this one more time.
His affairs in order.
Right.
Then he gets arrested.
For, I guess, him? Or what were they doing there?
I think they thought he would go out the front door. Nobody
go directly. They give him time to get his affairs in order.
Right.
Then he gets arrested, but then he screwed that up as well when he went to court.
Yeah.
So he was basically detained immediately, and the prosecutor did not want him to have a chance to go home or do anything like that. They said there was a flight risk.
He was.
How do you fuck that up?
Very bleak today. When he walked in, he didn't have eye contact with anyone. He was just kind of staring straight forward down towards the ground, and it looked like he just saw a ghost or something like that. Like,
yes.
For the first time ever. Also, I think he was early to court.
Yeah, that's
so
first time.
He was early.
9:54.
Did you see him come in? I didn't.
Yeah, I saw him come in. He was just like when he was going in. So
no cheeky faces, nothing.
Yeah, I've never seen this look on his face.
We were. Yeah, no, I mean, he didn't even.
I wish we could have seen it. I wish we could have seen it. It sounded like he tried to have somebody there to cover it so that he can do this whole big last hurrah. Probably had something planned, but nobody showed up to give him that ability. And so he just goes away quietly. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gotta feel the defeat of, man, I was wrong. They're gonna put me in prison. Like, he probably knew he was already, like, he had, of course he knew he was going to prison, bro. But anyway, there's no way he thought he was still going home after all this time. And this being the final trial, there's no way he thought he was still going home. So imagine waking up, your last day of freedom. It's not even your last day. Like, you're just gonna, all you gotta do is walk into the court. That's it. Like, you don't really get to do much. You can't escape. Where you gonna go? You're on the country is your prison. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any money. They know where to find you. If they don't find you there, then you're gonna find you on the streets, or they'll find you eventually. It's gonna be worse for you. You can't escape the fucking country. They have your passport, nigga. But imagine knowing you're going to prison, and then that one little last hurrah, your one little gesture, your finale, before you walk through those doors and are never seen in freedom, or again, at least for a while, at least for a couple years. You know what I'm saying? Your one chance to do that, nobody wanted to give you that one chance. Nobody wanted to it's like, all right, cool. It's just we were all waiting for this moment. Now it's here. We just let it happen quietly. Damn. Like, he had to be sad, bro. He had to be sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was looking for the opportunity to do his one last hurrah. You know he wanted to do that shit so bad. No one gave him the chance. No one gave him the chance.
And try to insult the judge. He was very comfortable insulting the judge on his live streams, but he was respectful here. He was extremely stressed out. That's for sure. But everything went by really quick because we got there. We were there at like 9 something, and we waited until they let us in at like 9:50, and then at 10, he was the first one who was announced.
And it was packed. There were over 40 people in this room. This is the most packed I've ever seen it. Standing room only.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of Koreans.
Everybody came to see this dude get sentenced, bro. Everybody wanted to see this shit. It was like, oh shit, hey yo, this was something they talked about at breakfast, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, No. This not just at breakfast. They talked about this before going to sleep that night. You know that they talked about this. They were like, you know, you going to that Somali court case? Man, hell yeah! I can't wait to see you put this motherfucker put in prison. Hell yeah! Let's hurry up and eat. Let's go. They were waiting for this shit. Ooh. Everybody showed up.
Yeah. More than there's been at any other hearing. Obviously, we know why.
Yeah.
This was the most important
Korean
one.
news at the moment is going ballistic. They already have a huge amount of news articles already
pushing everything out.
Yeah.
So his sentence
Giants
ended up
finally
being
sent it. How
6 months of prison with labor, and then an extra 20-something days of being detention on top of that.
MC was right. Man, hey, I'll take it. I'll take the 6 months. I'll take it. But MC was right. Damn. He said he gonna get 6 months. He got 6 months.
And then he's banned from going to any places with women and children for 5 years
And
in South Korea.
No vulnerable person. So like any kind of vulnerable person, he's banned from any place. So even disabled center, like he can't go near that kind of
So
thing.
that's 5 years on the registry.
So I guess his final verdict was, he was stuck here in South Korea for what, a year and a half, roughly? And then another 6 months of prison with labor. And what do you think the labor he's going to be getting in prison would be like?
I mean, I've always speculated that it's going to be some sort of factory work, some sort of metal work.
Okay.
It differs from facility to facility with what they have.
Let it be cabbages. Just come on, let it be cabbages. Just for the meme, come on. I know Legal Mindset also wants it to be cabbages.
Right.
So it could be factory work, it could be work in the prison. It really depends on the prison. And also the conditions of the prison can vary a lot. Like it's in Western prison you have like a shower place and that, but you don't get to shower every day in a Korean prison. There's a bucket.
Interesting.
Or like a wash basin, and that's how you wash. And you're like 7 to 9 dudes in a room.
Yeah.
And you have to sleep on the floor. There's not a bed. And then the person with the lowest pickings has to sleep next to the area which is the toilet.
Giant Somali is gonna be spending 6 months sleeping next to a toilet. I accept that. I definitely accept that. He has to spend 6 months sleeping next to a toilet. Like you got there's 6 other people in there. 7 total, right? 6. He said 6 or 7. Oh God, I did the. Anyway, so you got 6 other people in there. Niggas gonna be waking up, taking a shit right in front of your face, right next to you. You might turn around, put your head to it, or put your back of your head to it, but like, you ain't gonna really escape that, bro. Like they might forget to, they might start wiping right while they're standing above you. You know what I'm saying? Like after they finish their business, they'll wipe as they stand above you. And if anything falls, it falls. Like what you gonna do about it? You're a skinny black guy. Like there's 6 other Koreans in there. You ain't gonna do shit about it. They gonna whoop your ass if you try to do shit about it. Okay, they might not, but they would. Anyway, I hope they would. Anyway, like you guys spend 6 months sleeping next to a toilet.
So yeah, guess who's going to be the lowest in the room?
Well, that is, and he's going to a international prison, right? He's not. No, he's going to an actual Korean prison.
Because the
actual Korean prison.
They're not specialized enough to have a foreigner-only prison. So most likely he's going to be only with other Koreans, maybe some other Chinese.
Interesting.
Maybe there'll be a few.
Yes. So he's going to he's gonna be surrounded by Koreans. He's gonna be actual Korean prison. This feels good, bro. This feels so good.
There could be other foreigners there, but it's gonna be majority Korean. And 6 months. So why did they reduce it so much?
Yeah. Why did they do that?
Why did they? Yeah.
We have the ruling here. They said, okay, the defendant denies the charges regarding the distribution of false imagery, which is the deepfakes. but admits to all the other charges. Regarding the charges for distributing false imagery, whether the material was edited to cause shame must be evaluated from the perspective of an average person. So when they were saying all that,
Sorry about that.
I was thinking, okay, yeah, a reasonable person would think all of this stuff, that this was intended to cause shame. It's very obvious when you watch those videos, but they determined, based on the agreement with victim Lee and Lee, which is Youngman,
okay.
and Kim, which is Bong Bong. Even though there was an agreement, they concluded that Bong Bong was not sufficiently ashamed.
They ended up it came back to bite us in the end. Oh, why would they agree on some shit like that? Came back to bite us in the end. God damn it.
Right.
So based on that, they significantly reduced the sentence. However, there's no suspended sentence. He is imprisoned right now. He is a prisoner.
Okay.
But that is a big reduction from 3 years to 6 months. There was
Come on.
something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Which is, they said, okay, are we going to release you right now and then arrest you later and bring you to prison, or are we going to bring you to prison on the spot? And they had him sit in the witness stand and make his own case for why they should not put him in prison immediately.
And that's when he answered the really weird
Yeah,
question.
He didn't understand the question.
He did not understand what they were asking him. He thought he was defending.
What'd he say? What'd he say?
He thought that he was making his case for not going to prison, period. He didn't understand that it was the case for him not being a flight risk.
Right.
So they figured, if we release you, you're going to be a flight risk.
And then he lied again.
Yeah.
About being a student.
He lied about being a student. He said he's still going to Arizona State University. And in my opinion, that was kind of a test from the judge, because the judge knew that he's not a student.
Interesting.
So in my
your chance to like plead your case again, like one last time. And the dude's like, yeah, I'm just gonna time to lie again. Let me get me. All right, let's lie. like, come on, bro. What the fuck?
my opinion, they were testing to see whether he's going to lie about that again. And then they basically said, why should we believe that you're not a flight risk? Why should we not haul you off to prison right now?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I miss my family and I want to go home.
Right.
Which is not a great case for not being a flight risk.
You miss your family, you want to go home, huh? Yeah, nah, bro. If we let that happen, we're not gonna see you again. Nah, fam. What, you thought did you think that was gonna work? Did you think that? What? I know in your streams you keep saying they're dumb as fuck. You keep saying the judges are dumb as fuck and whatever. You keep insulting them. But like, did you really think that was gonna work? Like you thought you were that smart? Like, bro. Oh my God. I can. Common sense is not common. Like, not even the smallest of common sense. There was no trace. There's no trace in Giant Somali.
So the judge said, okay, prosecutor, what's your opinion? They said, we believe he's a flight risk.
Are we back? We're back. All right, welcome back.
Okay.
So yeah, no, they did drop that. Wait, what were you just saying? Sorry. The stream cut out. Lost track of thought.
They did mention that they've been looking at his YouTube, and based on his recent YouTube activities, they believe he continues to be harmful to society and to repeat his crimes.
Didn't he say they only have this much evidence? They barely have that. They don't have any evidence. Nigga, like, you was giving them evidence the entire time. You were your own op. You were literally your own op throughout this entire stay in Korea. Throughout your entire life, it seems like you've been your own op. Your mom couldn't save you from it. Your dad couldn't save you from it. Society had to suffer. But now you finally get to suffer for the things that you've done. But people like this are probably not going to learn. Like, they're probably going to continue doing the same shit. So he's not done. This is like the first time. This will be the first time he goes to prison. There'll be others. Like, and it's probably gonna get worse. Or I don't know. We'll see.
And that there's a danger that he will do that. That was part of the what factored into detaining him on the spot. And
but he also lied in his defense because he said, "I haven't committed any
another
bad
lie.
behavior or actually done anything bad since 2025." But everybody knows that's not true because he posted the evidence of that.
I don't even think he said it was since 2025. I think he was saying since the trial started.
Maybe, yeah.
So
which was in 2025. So
yeah.
He did. We have the.
Yeah. What did he officially say? Overall, though, I mean, he definitely got way more time here than what he would have gotten in the U.S. In the U.S., he would have gotten a slap in the wrist. In Norway, he definitely would have gotten a slap in the wrist. So Korea actually did something more than what Japan did. Japan.
In America, and first off, in the U.S., he wouldn't have gotten away with this in the first place. Like, if he kept messing with the people like he was doing, somebody was bound to like continuously knock him at. And he got knocked a couple times in Korea, but in like America, we have guns, and he's not streaming 24/7. You know what I'm saying?
And essentially had him in jail for 3 months, and they were like, okay, leave. But again, he's just not helping himself by constantly, being a hype man on the internet. He was thinking, nothing's ever gonna happen to me, and he just kept uploading to his YouTube, he kept streaming, and he kept disrespecting the Korean population. I mean, he called out the judge's family, he called out the president. Like, why are you insulting the president of the country that currently has your freedom in its hands?
He's dumb.
He did say in court that he was like, I've learned from my mistakes, I've matured a bunch. He went on this whole spiel to the judge about everything that he's learned and he's a better person. But I don't think anyone bought that. So
yeah, at the very end, the judge said the flight risk is acknowledged and you will be detained. And that was when they walked him out the side door. And I had a view that I've never had because it was so packed. They put me right up against. I had some prime real estate right there. So I've seen many convictions, seen people hauled off to prison, but I've never seen actually inside the.
I don't know how it's possible, but things are still somehow getting.
Yeah. Feels good. Feels good. It's something that you've been waiting to manifest, finally manifest. It always feels good. You know what I'm saying? Giant Somali in prison. This is a great day. This is a great night. I ain't gonna lie. I can die. No. I'm not gonna say I can die peacefully now. No. That's too much. So anyway, let's get ready to play some Fortnite.